when you think about the fact that you're pouring into kids, education is a big, the reason we're all here.
Yeah.
However, the impact that you have in people's lives every day, and that we have a responsibility to ensure that we bring our best every day because the kids deserve it.
We generally just wing this. I always write questions or get questions, but we just kind of wing it.
Okay.
So, got to do that for. There it is. Right there. I had somebody make fun of me for doing that. I'm like, Josh told me to do that. Well, we're going to get started here. We have a special guest this week, Shannon Holifield, Superintendent at Sikeston Public Schools. Today is the first day of school for teachers. And anyway, welcome back with us. This is Chief Cap and Chap, and us three are finally back together agagen. We've been doing these shows.
We missed you.
Yeah, we're finally back together again. There's a Muppet song about that.
I know.
Isn't that the Muppets together again?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, we'd love you to email us at chief.cap.chap@gmail.com. If you didn't get that, chief.cap.chap@gmail.com. And we're going to have a good show today, I think. We're really excited. You got the title.
I just got that.
Yeah.
Hey, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to a guy works at Rhodes, Matt.
Yeah.
Gives me Diet Cokes every morning. He said
Yeah.
he listens to the podcast and enjoys it. So I was like, oh, it's
sweet.
Good. And it's funny because I've had a few guys come up to me and say, hey, listen to your podcast. And
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, that's good. Yeah. Always like to hear that. He should email us.
Well, I don't know if he's not an email kind of guy.
Yeah. I like the emails. They give you ideas of what what guests you want to have on there and everything. And Shannon, if you don't know this is what we try to do. It's not really a DPS program. We want to do a community program where we're showing and spotlighting people that are really working in the community, serving the community, and making the community better. So.
That's what we're all here for.
Yeah, you do a great job at that.
And hopefully Joe Rogan or somebody sees this and thinks, man, we need to get these guys on national stage.
Yeah, they say there's money in this. I have not seen a dime, But anyway, so tell us about yourself. Tell us what you do, why you do what you do.
Okay. Well, I'm the superintendent of Sikeston Public Schools, as you said. I just told my group this morning, we had our all-staff back-to-school breakfast today, and it's our day to celebrate. We all get together in the field house, and we provide breakfast, and we have gifts and prizes, and just try to kind of motivate and celebrate them. I will tell you that, like I told them this morning, I'm starting my 31st year in education. A lot has changed in those 31 years. But every day I'm reminded of how much I love my job. And I know that we say this a lot, and teachers hear this, what you do matters, and it matters every day. And that's a quick little easy thing to say. But when you think about the fact that you're pouring into kids, education is a big, the reason we're all here.
Yeah.
However, the impact that you have in people's lives every day, and that we have a responsibility to ensure that we bring our best every day because the kids deserve it. And they need an experience of being a bulldog that will hopefully have a positive impact on their life. And, our goal is to encourage and help produce good citizens. And we hope they're here in Sikeston, but wherever they land, we want them to be good citizens and be able to be productive and live a good life and, raise our next generation.
Well, coming up through school myself, you always kind of had an eye toward the principal, and oftentimes I didn't really know who the superintendent was. What I noticed about you, you're very interactive. Everybody knows who you are. You know what I mean? You're at the games. You're very vocal and energetic and positive, and I like those things. I think a lot of people have a positive perception about you, for sure.
Well, thank you for that. That's definitely a part of the goal that I have as a superintendent. I think that kids need to know who you are. I try to be visible in buildings. Sometimes you have to be in your office, you have to be in meetings, but I also think it's very critical to be in the community. I just said earlier in a meeting with you, and if your superintendent, the leader of your school, is not a part of the community, then neither one of us are going to be very successful. And as your school goes, so goes your community. And
Right.
especially when you live in a town like the size of Sikeston, we're the heart of this community, and we need to be giving back. I need to be sitting at the table and helping make our community better. Not everyone shares that same thought process probably as I do that sit in my chair at other school districts, but that is my philosophy, and I
Right.
hope that
Yeah.
parents see me. I want to be present within our community at events, and as well as in my school district. And
It's-
one of my favorite places to go is kindergarten, and I love
Yeah.
to interact with those kids and introduce them to what it's going to be like to be a bulldog.
It's certainly a big part of our community. I mean, you guys have 9 or 10 buildings, facilities around the community, probably more than that. I mean, you start talking about transportation
Yes.
and things like that. So, I mean, and now you got the SCTC building, the old Homestead
Yeah.
Orchlands and all that stuff.
SCTC 2.
Two,
Real good name.
SCTC 2, yeah.
Good Chad King come up with
be a
that
great-
name.
I
I wish he could have came today.
I wish he could
Well,
have
Chad's
too.
creative, you know.
He is pretty creative.
I love that guy.
And he's funny. And he's
I love
funny.
Chad. He's a good guy. Yeah. So,
He is.
what made you get into education?
So I was a basketball player. I'm from Arkansas, and I ended up getting a basketball scholarship to play at Arkansas State University. And to be honest with you, I really wanted to coach basketball.
Yeah.
And I thought that I wanted to be a Division I basketball coach, and that was my aspirations. And life sometimes changes. Had an opportunity to be hired at a school district around Little Rock, Arkansas. That I was affiliated with the university, and so had some opportunities. And then shortly after that, I ended up getting married, and then I had a child. And the thought of moving from state to state and the uncertainty in the college level, and I fell in love with high school and junior high sports. I mean, just the public education all around. And I was a head girls basketball coach for about 15 years. I was in Zenith, Hornersville school district for about 11. That's actually where Greg, my husband, Coach Holifield, his family is from between Zenith and Kennett. And so we had mutual friends. That's how I met him. And to be honest with you, that's how I ended up in Sikeston. I followed a guy.
Right.
I was a single mom for about 11 years and coached. I got my master's in administration.
It sounds like you followed basketball too.
Yeah. I mean, that's my love. I loved it. It's what brought me to education. And I believe that if you're a good coach, you're a good teacher.
Yeah.
Those two things, that they're just one and the same. And sometimes people maybe don't understand that, but they're so similar. And just about everything you do, it's about training kids. It's about making kids better. It's about teaching them about life and, how to handle diversity.
Some of our best supervisors are great coaches and mentors and stuff. And I mean, I think if you get into that philosophy, man, you can really work wonders. As opposed to just being the manager. You know what I mean? It's a big difference.
It is. It's a lot of it's about a relationship, but it's also about motivating people and trying to lead people by example. So how did I end up where I am today? I was also a social studies teacher. And so when I came to Sikeston, I became a world history teacher here, and I helped with basketball. I decided if I was going to see my family, Caleb played basketball, Will played basketball, and Greg coached. And I didn't want to go a different direction. So I just helped out a little with the girls program then in junior high level, and just continued to get my education towards being in administration.
So world history, was that at the junior high or was that senior?
High school.
High school.
I was in the OC building.
Okay.
I taught,
wow. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I taught advanced placement world history as well. And I did that for a few years, and then just really started putting my name in the hat to be an administrator here in this district. And I will tell you, I fell in love with this town. They took me in. I feel like we have a great school district and a great community, and I just made it home. This is home, and it became home very quickly for me. My first administrative job was at the high school. I was the assistant principal and the academic leader at the high school.
And I think that's where I first met
Yes.
you there. I can't remember. Me and you both have been SRO sergeants, and that may have been when.
I'm
It's
sure.
been some time
I know.
ago.
Exactly when we became partners. We worked closely together with our kids.
Yeah.
And so I had an opportunity to go to central office from there, and I'll be honest, I didn't really know if I wanted to because I really loved what I did at the high
Sure.
school.
Yeah.
Loved working with those teachers, but I took a chance and I became the assistant superintendent there. And I had an HR role as well as being over the secondary level and support services. And then I had an opportunity to interview to be the superintendent, and I'm starting my 4th year as superintendent.
So when was it that you went to central office? So what year was that?
2015.
Okay, yeah. So you've been over there in the central office for 10 years. Yeah.
Yes, I
It
have.
seemed like it'd been a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to tell you how long that I've known Coach Holifield.
Oh,
your
we are
husband.
going to go back to the old days.
So Camel.
Yes.
We've already talked about that. And of course, he coached at Zenith. So I remember him taking Vivan Reed's spot as a baseball coach in Zenith, and Coach Holifield being the coach at Zenith. So that's how long we go back, quite a while.
Yeah, he was
And-
baseball coach there for years. Won a state championship in baseball there too.
Yeah, and then he left there and went to Arkansas State, right?
He did spend some time at Arkansas State
Coaching baseball.
Coaching baseball. He did.
That's a good school. My daughter graduated from there. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
like that place. That
It's a-
town seems like it's really growing.
It is, and they've really, that school. When you go back, it doesn't even look like the same university that I went to. It's grown so much.
Yeah. Well, they're the Red Wolves now. It
Yeah.
used to be the Indians,
Indians,
then.
yeah. I was a lady Indian.
Now, did you grow up? Yeah, I know you mentioned this, but was it Marmaduke?
No, I actually grew up in Newport, but
Oh,
but
okay.
it was the Greyhounds, Marmaduke Greyhounds,
Okay.
Newport Greyhounds. So you got that
Okay.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family still live there.
You
Lives in
definitely have
Arkansas.
that Northeast Arkansas.
I do.
accent.
I do. I've tried to do a little better. I know I probably sound a little country sometimes, but I don't know. It's part of who I am, right?
So I like numbers. I mean, and you oversee a lot of teachers and administrative
Yes.
staff. I mean, how many employees are there?
So
in the
this
school?
morning there were around 500 employees
500.
in the field house.
Wow, how do you manage all that? I mean,
I got some good people around
that
me.
matters. Yeah, that really helps.
It
for
really
sure.
does.
Yeah.
You're only as good as the people that
Right.
you have working with you and for you. Like I said, I have a great team, central office, from our administrative assistants to our business gals downstairs to my assistant superintendents. Couldn't do this job without them. And we have just some great folks all around. Can't say enough. Our teachers and staff, they work so hard. We talk often about, teachers you're off in the summer, but you can just about go by any building, and there are teachers and staff in those buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw it this morning. You posted some of the long tenured
yes.
teachers that have been here teaching, and I think that's really cool that you guys celebrate that, and I think it's really cool that there are teachers that stick in the
Yes.
job for that long, because I know it can be frustrating at times. It can be very difficult at times to deal with education and government and people.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool that you celebrate. So as you're getting ready for the new school year, you said this is year 31 that you're starting. So how are you feeling about this year, going into the start of this year? What's the feeling?
So I feel like I'm saying the same thing I said to my staff this morning. So this was a good day to do this. I feel like this is year 4 for me, starting for being a superintendent. And I told them that this time, at this all staff, my first year, I made a statement to them. I said, grass is not always greener on the other side. I challenge you, don't stand and stare at someone else's grass. Let's water where we are. And I feel like they bought into that, and we have really watered our own grass the last few years. I feel like we've supported our teachers. We've really tried to rally around them. Talk about that school pride, sing in the red and the black on Fridays. Fridays we wear red and black. Really understanding that Sikeston way and what it means to be a bulldog, and trying to set good examples for our kids and set that standard high for academics, but also for behavior. And I feel like all that's kind of really, we've been consistent, and a little coaching terminology. They say it takes 3 to 5 years to build it, 1 to 2 years to kill it, I think is the saying. And as we go into this year 4, I feel like everything is kind of coming together. I feel so excited. I feel great about where we are. I have high expectations. I kind of want to say that everything that you've kind of had as a vision and as a goal and all the work that's been done to get consistency in place, and like this is the year. This is the year that I feel very excited that this is the year that we're just going to see the huge benefits. We've seen a lot of great things along the way. I mean, APR scores have risen. We've made some big strides, but I'm excited to see what this year is going to hold.
Yeah, I think that it's really with some of the people that are in my life, as far as my church and stuff like that, they're teachers in the district, and it's really interesting to watch them. Like the school year is kind of like a marathon. Like it's like the marathon starts at the end of August and goes through May, but then the summer is like the sprint. Like it's a sprint to get from the end of last year's marathon to the start of this year's marathon. So what is your favorite time of the back to school season as you're getting ready to kick off another marathon?
Yeah. Today is obviously one of the highlights of the back to school. There's such a power in everyone coming back into this one space. One of my teachers posted this morning on Facebook, and it was a picture of all of us together from last year. And she said, "Our village is back together." And it was about how powerful that is. So I just really, when you get a group of compassionate, loving, hardworking individuals that have a common goal, it's exciting to be in that room. There's just you just feel the energy. So we're prepping for kids to walk across our threshold next Wednesday. And I don't know if there's much in this world that's more fun than that.
What's the, I would think, being a leader here, like you're going into that meeting and you know that this meeting really matters because you are kicking off for all of your employees, and you got to bring a certain level of energy and positivity and direction and leadership there. How do you prep for that? What do you do?
That's funny. So I wanted to show, I'm always wanting to push and motivate, and so you're always looking for what's going to be that perfect video or that perfect phrase. And so I had all these notes, and I was just working yesterday and last night, and finally Greg, my husband, said, "Why are you doing that? You know you do better when you just speak from the heart."
Weird. I tell him that all the time.
Shut up, John.
And I said, "I know, but I don't want to forget it. You don't want to forget anything. You want some organization." And I'll tell you what I did. I put my notes aside and I stepped up and took the microphone, and I didn't read a note. I said, when you know what you're talking about, you have passion about what you're talking about, and you see those people across from you, I just talked about what I know and what I know, how I feel about them, and what I know they can do. I used a quote this morning that if winning was easy, everybody would do it. And I said, if I ask every one of you, do you want to have a great year? You want every kid to be the best? You want your scores to be great? You're going to handle discipline, all the things. You're going to say yes. Oh, yeah, I want to win.
Just doesn't happen on its own.
That's right. Yeah. But, what makes it special is when you have that ability and that person that wants to do that work every day.
Well, you guys did that. I got to tell you this, and I don't want to embarrass you or anything, but you did that strategic planning, and I was a part of that.
Yes.
And we went through that, and that was a really good session. You got all these community stakeholders in there, and we're at Allen Wire and sitting in the room going through that. And you got up at the end and gave this speech about this motivational speech, and I was thinking, man, I wish I worked for her. That is great. I mean, because it was
That's a tremendous compliment. Thank you.
It was so positive and full of energy. I really mean that. It really was. You just don't hear that all the time. I don't say stuff like that all the time. I know I don't. But it was really good. So I imagine you probably got a lot of happy employees working for you.
You can probably tell them the website to apply.
You want to? We got a job.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's good. Quite a compliment. I appreciate that.
And a lot of good things came out of that strategic planning. I mean, of course, you know all that. I'll let you talk about that, but that was great.
Well, it was, and everything that I just said about kind of coming together this fourth year, those goals were all set out of that strategic plan. And we knew we had some things we needed to fix. And I'm a true believer. You gotta come to the table and be willing to say, here are our issues. Here's some things we do pretty good. Here's some things that we're struggling with. Because you're not going to fix it if you're not honest and you don't sit down and talk about why and how can we fix it and what have we done wrong, maybe unintentionally, and how are we going to fix that.
So what are some of those priorities for this year?
Yes. So we follow that came out of that strategic plan. It's called our Comprehensive School Improvement Plan. Okay. And then it's just a group of goals. And some of those goals, one was a safe and predictable learning environment and really getting a handle on setting that bar high for student behavior and being consistent and having consistent consequences. Because if there's distraction in that learning environment, it is going to have an impact negatively on the learning. And so that's been one of our main goals, and that came specifically out of that strategic plan process that we did. People spoke about that, because it is the most important thing that we do, and teachers need to be able to teach. And we've shored up classroom management skills and tried to just be consistent, make sure our principals are there and they're in that support role to ensure that. So that's one. And then we had academic goal 2, to improve that APR score, which is, our scoreboard. They do the state testing, and then you get a score based on the testing. You get that part of that score is based on your career and tech, college readiness, your attendance, your graduation rate. There are several things that come into play that gives you that score. And we actually last year improved by, I think, 6.4% percentage points, which was huge. Most improvement we've seen in a long, long time. So we've got teachers and staff that are, they're doing the work. Administrators, they know their kids. They know exactly their strengths, their weaknesses. And I feel really great about that. And that came, again, as being one of our main goals. Safety. We had one of our overarching goals is about safety, and so fortunate to have the partnership with DPS that we have, and we have SROs in our buildings. That's been, again, part of what I'm responsible for is the safety of kiddos. And when I lay down my head at night, I need to feel as if we've done everything we can do to ensure that it's the safest environment possible. And I couldn't do that without DPS.
Well, and your staff does a great job working with us. I mean, they just really mesh really well together. And there's a lot of things, small things that happen that you just got to jump on just to, and they're talking, and, something comes up on social media and everybody's right on that.
Man.
Phone calls are made. And then if they got to go out and pick kids up and question them about that, they do so that night. And a lot of people don't know that stuff happens, but.
And I'll tell you, I go to several superintendent meetings at the state level and district level, and not many people have what we have. So, you don't realize sometimes how good you have it until you hear other people that just don't have that communication, that partnership, or it's just not a priority maybe.
Right.
And I just feel that, again, we have an opportunity to work together and get in front of some things.
Well, I appreciate the proactive thinking that you guys do on that, because I think that's where we want to be too. And a lot of times I think sometimes police departments, our schools, I'm sure can fall into a reactive thing. They'll go there when the problem happens. Well, it's too late. That's too late then.
I mean, our kids know our SROs when they're in the building. They're on the playground. They're at the ball games. They see them on the daily. Talk about being visible and building relationships. And that's because of the partnership we have and the buy-in we have.
When you think about that, just remind me, because you have these officers that are investing in the kids as well, like teachers. But when you think about what's the enrollment at Sikeston this year? Approximately,
we're at about 3,300.
Okay, so as I think about that, to me, it seems almost like you guys have an impossible task, and here's why I say that: you have 3,300 kids. Not one of them the same.
Exactly.
You have how many teachers? 500, you said, or so, staff members?
About 275 that are certified staff, and then the rest
Not all of them are the same.
No.
And so you have 4,000 people that are different and coming together for a short time for the purpose of education. And some of those students do well, and some of those have some struggles. Some of those teachers have a way to teach to those, and some don't know how to teach. So what are some of the programs that have been put in place by you and your team that make sure no matter where the students are on that and no matter where the teachers are, at the end of the day, there is success?
So we have a few things that I can speak to there, and I could probably talk for hours, but we are involved with what is called District Continuous Improvement through the state. And basically, it's given us consistency to ensure that, like, we are assessing kids along the way. We are prepping and planning, very similar. We have meetings then where we come together and we have like agendas where what do kids know? What do we want them to know? How do we know they understand it? And what are we going to do if they don't? What are we going to do if they really excel? You know, those are kind of just some simple terms of what we're really looking at from, you know, a peer's view. But when you really dig in, we have some other programs where we have what we call common formative assessments. And so, you know, at the end of a lesson that day, quickly assessing, not waiting until it's a chapter test or to find out what you didn't know. But today, when I came in to teach, taught a lesson, I do a quick assessment and I can quickly say, man, 5 of my kids really got it and 10 of them didn't. And what am I going to do to reteach that? And then because we're a big enough school district that we have collaborative teams where we can come to, like I said, a table and go, okay, what you taught today really worked. Mine didn't get it so much today. Let me see what you did. Let's come and figure out. That's powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, that is. And we have that, and that's a part of that. We call it DCI. That's a part of that goal of that program is that collaborative atmosphere and trying to protect sometimes for teachers, for your first grade teams to sit down and really look at, and we look at individual kids. You've probably, if you have small kids through 7th or 8th grade, we have what's called iReady, and they do some testing throughout the year and kind of see exactly, like if in reading, for instance, they're struggling in this certain area, so here's where we need to provide them supports. And it nowadays education is much different, and we can just pinpoint. We're really learning how to pinpoint where kiddos are and what do we need to do to fill that gap. We also have, you know, our special services team that is in place to make sure we have early intervention. You know, if a student has something like a dyslexia or something that, you know, where we're providing them the supports that they need. We have a really strong team there that works hard to get early interventions in place. And I know you all know Jenny Hobeck.
Oh, yeah.
At the kindergarten, but she and her team, Sarah Carbaugh and her team, they do a great job of just getting those kids ready for what it's going to look like as they enter into 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade too. So when you have good people and you have some powerful programs in place, good things are going to happen. But I really think that collaborative atmosphere and expectation is very powerful in doing just exactly that.
Yeah, Jenny, I think she's got probably a pretty tough job, and those teachers there, because if you think about those kids are coming in, they've maybe not been in a school environment or in a classroom setting, and they got to figure out how that works. The teachers, so if you're like an elementary school, they can pass on knowledge. Well, this is what I know about this kid, and this child here has this difficulty, and you got to interact with. But they don't have any of that.
No, they don't.
They got to figure all that stuff out. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. I want to add one more thing. We have made it our part of our goals that drive us is called Champion Teaching, and Dr. Janie Powell has come, and we have all of our teachers trained in Champion Teaching with her. And it's just techniques to really engage kids in the classroom and powerful questioning and how to get them and ensure that, they're engaged in the lesson. It's amazing. She does a tremendous job we actually just trained all of our new teachers back in July coming in. She spends 2 days with them. And I feel that has had a huge impact as well. Now, part of that focus is on that classroom management and that piece. One of the sayings that we talk about is, as a classroom, if I'm the teacher, this is my house, my rules. You're going to come in. I've got it organized, but you're home. And so the understanding when you cross that threshold, that's one of the techniques is threshold. When they cross that threshold, you've greeted them. You've had a minute to have a quick conversation. Where are they in their day? How do they feel today? And are you ready to come in? And remember, here are your rules. And just, again, predictability in that classroom.
Can I ask about that?
Yeah.
Because it's been 25 years this year since I've been in high school. So as you've been in public education for 30 years, going on 31, is it different now with things like that than it was, say, 25 years ago? I mean, or were those things being taught then? I just curious.
Yeah, I would say one thing that Champion Teaching has done, if you were a good teacher, it gave you value in what you knew you were already doing and maybe gave it a name.
Gotcha.
So I would say that if you think back to who some of your best teachers were, not maybe your favorite, but your best teachers, they were doing some of these techniques. I do think that probably it was more of an expectation that kids understood what it looked like in the classroom, you know. I think social media and distractions, there's just a lot of those kinds of things, but kids are kids. Kids really haven't changed a lot. Some of the things that they have at their fingertips have changed, you know, where used to you were writing a note, got in trouble, now you're, you know, trying to text on the cell phone, or now that we don't allow cell phones, state law.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I think the governor really did a good job passing that bill, because that is such a distraction. I mean, you know, and I got 3 kids. 2 of them have been through school. My youngest is going into high school this year, and you can just see that. I mean, it's just a distraction. I don't know. You know, I think it's going to be a good thing.
It is going to be a good thing. It'll take a little time, a couple of months first. We'll have some growing pains with it, but it'll be okay. But yes, you know, I do think that teaching is harder than it was when I first started, and I think part of that is just the perception that sometimes is out in the world. You know, we don't do a great job of telling our story, and so often the story and the narrative you hear is the negative. And I know
that kind of sounds familiar too.
Yeah, it does. And you know, I know there's public schools out there that are failing, but that's in any walk of life. But there's also a heck of a lot that are doing great things.
Well, one of the things y'all do well, and I think y'all were doing this before strategic planning, and maybe you bumped it up, but the communication, I think, is great. Y'all do several layers, several facets of communication, you know, and sending emails out, or whether it's on your sys calls and, you know, text messaging and stuff like that. I mean, if you miss something, you really had your head in the sand. You know what I mean?
Well,
honestly.
I'm glad you say that, because that's our goal. And, you know, we're not perfect, but Natalie Coppage does a very good job of being our communication specialist. And, you know, you learn. And I do think, you know, social media and some things like that have made that more accessible. Websites and upgrades to websites. But the ability to send a text to a parent or to communicate through a dojo or, you know, something along that line, it's
great
powerful.
for parents, and I think it's also good for the brand of Sikeston Public School.
That was one of my goals, was to really brand us and bring back. You ask about goals. All the things we talk about is important, but if you can't get people to buy in and love something just a little bit bigger than themselves, and wrapping their around being a bulldog and red, black, and what it means, and, you know, not having that separation has been a goal of mine, and singing the red and the black, and kids knowing the words to it. It's meaningful. And so our community's bought into that too. I think that's been an important piece to some success we've seen.
Yeah, that's really cool. You mentioned the classroom being home, but there is a reality too. At the end of the day, the kids do go home.
Yes, they do.
And at home, there's their parents, their guardians, people that are caring for them.
Or lack of.
Or lack thereof at times. But if you had, let's say, the parents or guardians of all 3,300 students before you, what would you say to them would be some of the best ways that they can support what happens at school, at home, and you guys can support what happens at home, at school?
That's a tough question. I would say number one is support. You know, every day we're trying to teach kids. That's our goal. You know, your goal is that kids learn and have a great experience in Sikeston Public Schools. And I would say to parents, just try to support our mission and our goal, and understand that we do have approximately 3,300 kiddos, and that anything you can do at home to provide structure, to encourage them to be bought into school, read to them. I mean, that's probably the most impactful thing that you can do for a kiddo. Hold them accountable. Don't make excuses for them. Failure's okay. Our society, one thing that I feel has changed is failure's where you learn. It's okay to fail. It's okay to miss a deadline. It's, you know, you may make a B, but you learned a whole heck of a lot in that B. And I think sometimes learning to just support the process and give some structure and guidance and some accountability at home. We're all in this because we love our community and we love kids. We want to see society in general. Education is what we're educating in our future and what society's going to look like. You know, we won't be sitting here in 30, 40 more years, but these kids that are in school will be. So how do we maximize that? And I think it's important that we realize we're on the same team, and for every action there's a consequence.
Yep.
I mean, good or bad. And I said this morning that I know sometimes there are reasons. For instance, maybe a student gets in trouble or makes a mistake or does something, and we're going to hear those reasons. And we're going to there's empathy, but not sympathy. And nevertheless, there is a consequence. And so, you know, we know that sometimes there may be a child that didn't have the best night's sleep or didn't have a great weekend. And we're going to support and do what we can, but there's going to be a consequence to every action. And if there's something that happens, nevertheless, we have rules and regulations that we follow, and we're going to be consistent with that. But it's always in the best interest of kids and and all kids.
Yeah.
Well, I hear you say support, and it made me think that you actually probably you want parents to engage, ask questions like, how is school going? What are you learning?
Yes.
What projects are you working on? What tests do you have coming up? Where they're just, how'd your day go?
Yeah.
You know, or is it just questions like that? But I will say, I think the morale, it seems like to me, has gotten quite a bit better. I know everybody has turnover. We have turnover, but it seems like that you guys are doing really good with that right now. It's what I've noticed or heard, you know. So
I feel like our school morale, staff morale is really good. I think it's telling. It's easy to say that, and then you go, okay, well, what was your turnover? We only have 21 new staff members, new teachers this year. That is the smallest amount since I've been involved. We've kind of all talked among ourselves. We don't usually we're 40, 45,
right. Yeah.
30. I've never recall it being less than 35. And so we have 21. I think that says a lot.
Yeah.
And of that 21, several of them are not coming. They're not newbies. You know, they have some experience coming in. So, yes, I do think staff morale is in a good place. And I think part of that is that collaborative atmosphere we talk about, and some school spirit, and feeling supported. And
I heard we have a new girls' high school basketball coach that a lot of
do.
people are excited about. It's supposed to be a really good coach.
Yeah, really excited about Coach Watkins.
Where does she come from?
She comes to us. Her husband is actually from the area, but can't tell you exactly high school. I know she went to Fontbonne. She played basketball at Fontbonne, and then she came to our area with him, and she was at Bloomfield last year.
Okay.
Okay.
And so
I've read a lot of good things in the paper about her
Yes.
coaching abilities, and so
we're excited to have her.
good hire
Very
there.
excited.
Yeah, getting ready for all kinds of sports, getting ready to kick
new
off.
football
fall.
coach too, right?
Yes. Well, last year.
Last year, okay.
Yeah.
Fall sports kicked off, I think, practice this week, right? And so things are going and rolling, and it's hotter than ever for the athletes outside this
It
week.
is. It is. I know they're ready for a break in this weather.
Hey,
They've been
Yeah.
practicing in the evenings.
One of the things that we want to do in this podcast is just for people to get to know you
Yeah.
as well. So some of that is just telling stories. So do you have a favorite first day of school story in your life?
Actually, I do. The first day that I got my first job, that I was a head basketball coach, I don't know. I had been working basketball camps for about, usually, you get hired late spring, early summer. And so I had basketball camps running up to almost school starting. And the first day of school that night, I woke up about 3 a.m, and I was sick. I'm like, I can't miss my first day of school. There's no way I can miss my first day of school. I had to call in sick first day of school, my very first head coaching job. I was oh no. And if you know me, I don't miss. Like I've actually, when I interviewed for this job, when I came to Sikeston, I called and said, can I interview after hours? Because we have an incentive, and if I don't miss any days, I get a $500 check at the end of the year. can't miss. So they let me interview that night, like at 6 or 7 o'clock.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was kind of the most embarrassing. That's probably not the best first day of school story, but it's a terrible story for me to have to say. That was a hard day. You know, you like, oh my gosh, I'm calling in sick the first day that I have kids. But every year is an exciting first day. If you teach school, you almost get like a little butterflies in your stomach, because I was talking to someone earlier. I was actually over at the chamber after the meeting, and they said, being a teacher, you get to have a fresh start every year. That's not like other jobs. And it's true. You get a time to kind of reflect and go, okay, this worked for me, this didn't. I want to do something different, you know, this year. And that first day is always exciting, because all the things you've planned, you get a fresh start. And so I think every teacher would tell you that first day of school is just as exciting for them as it is for the kids. You get that kind of nervous butterfly. You don't sleep well, and you know what your outfit's going to be on that first day of school.
I love going to the kindergarten for their first day, because they literally roll out the red carpet.
They do.
There is a red carpet that leads from where they get dropped off to the front door.
They do.
And the expressions on some of these kids' faces is joy and some's terror.
Tears.
And so the kindergarten's really a neat place for somebody's first day of school.
Yeah, it is. It's one of my favorite, and because you're right. I mean, there are some of the parents are crying too. It's not just the kids.
So where do you go on first day of school? You got so many schools. Where do you try to hit a bunch of them, or
actually between me and my staff at CO and my board of education, we divide up schools, and there'll be a board member and one of us at every school, and we do have staggered starts. So we get an opportunity to high school and middle school start first, and then an alt school, and then junior high is next, and then your elementary start at the same time. And so we usually all kind of get to rally down, because kindergarten's the last one. So most of all of us end up at kindergarten by the time.
And the first day, is that next
Wednesday.
Tuesday? Wednesday. Okay. All right. I was thinking it was Tuesday, but that's right.
Yeah, next Wednesday. Exciting times.
Yeah.
We have such a great community that supports our school and just buys in, and it makes it so much nicer when you have that support. So
yeah, and we try to go out there too, first day of school, and sometimes people are like, "Why are the cops here?" And it's like there's sometimes a lot of confusion. People aren't sure where to go. There's traffic issues, and we just like to go there to try to help people, because we're familiar with the school and who's the principal, and direct parents the right way as they're coming in or leaving or something like that. So. It's like if you see us out there, nothing bad is going on. We're just trying to help out. I think sometimes they're like, "Oh my gosh, what's happened?"
I always ask every time. I was like, "Chief, can you be at every building?" Because it's important. I think it's important for people to see. Again, that's where our partnership starts.
Right. I think that's right.
Yeah, we set that up yesterday, so there'll be another officer at every school.
Building.
So got that all taken care of yesterday.
That's awesome. And I can't say enough about our SROs. They are tremendous in our buildings, with our kids, with our staff. They were part of our all-staff breakfast this morning. And
that's a hard job. I don't know if people realize how difficult that job can be.
Yes.
Because there's a lot. I mean, first of all, you're dealing with kids, so you got to really handle that with kid gloves. Pardon my pun there. But and then understanding, your role in that, because there is a lot of it, if it's just administrative, you're not really getting involved in that. You're letting the principals handle that. And if it gets into like a Safe Schools Act, well, then we kind of interject there. But we got to know exactly where that line is. And, of course, dealing with parents, sometimes parents can be great. Sometimes they don't understand exactly what's going on, or why we are letting them handle administrative issue and we're not. Or maybe why we have to get involved because of the Safe Schools Act, and they don't understand that. Why don't you let the principal take care of it? And there's, but it's all for the general overall safety of the school. And it's just that proactive approach of being in there. Because if anything ever, if you had a fight or something like that, we don't want to spend time trying to figure out, okay, where's the library?
Yeah, that's right. And that's what I love about your people. And you're always welcome in any of our buildings. I love to see you at our buildings. I love to see your guys there. And again, I think that the proactive side.
Well, it prevents
to
a
that.
lot of those fights and issues and stuff. I mean, I think
and feeling safe in school.
Before we had that really, like at the level we do, years ago, we had more of that stuff going on. I mean, we just did, and we had that when I was growing up. Kids got in fights and stuff like that. It took place. The kids are going to be kids, but you can prevent a lot of that stuff just with your presence. It's officer presence.
That's right.
So.
Yeah,
Well,
I think with our kids too, it's just pretty much the norm, you know, because since they've been in school, there's always been SROs or officers at their building. So it would be almost abnormal for them not to see an officer somewhere.
Right.
Well, and it just makes our staff feel safe, makes parents feel safe. Your worst nightmare as a leader and a superintendent is that something bad would happen in your building, and it just definitely makes me feel much more secure. And I sleep when I lay my head down at night. I sleep much better knowing that you all are going to be around, and that if we need something, you're there. And again, the presence is for safety.
Well, we appreciate that.
Well, I'm so glad that you had a chance to come in today.
Yes.
Before we go, I like to just we started this, I think, last podcast, some lightning round questions that we can all answer. I just got 4 of them today, so it won't be too bad. But just quick answers. Favorite cafeteria food growing up in school?
Square pizza.
Man, you stole my answer. My favorite.
It's absolutely square pizza.
Square pizza.
How do you not
Square
go
pizza
with,
all
How
around.
do you not go with square pizza?
All right.
It's great.
Morning person or night owl?
Neither. I'm in between. I really am.
I'm a night owl.
I am a morning person.
Imagine
Chalkboard, whiteboard, or smartboard?
Probably a whiteboard.
Chalkboard so I can scratch my fingernails and annoy everyone in class.
I gotta go with chalkboard.
I hate chalkboard. Mr. Kinnaman made me hate chalkboards back in the day because his fingernails would catch those chalkboards.
I had a geometry teacher who used to throw
trigonometry
erasers at me all the time.
I already didn't like trigonometry, and then he was writing on the board. And all right, last one. Best advice. You probably won't answer this, but best advice that another teacher ever gave you.
Best advice another teacher ever gave me, I would say, is that if you work hard, good things are going to happen. You may not always make the right decision, the best decision, but if you're working hard and you're trying to do what's right, it'll usually always work out. I had a mentor, a principal, that told me that.
Nice.
You know, it's odd. I found a consistency in a lot of things in this podcast with you, and a lot of things you talked about is coaching. You know what I mean?
It is.
That's the thing with coaching. You're going to have failure, but work hard, keep practicing, know what your weaknesses are, know what your strengths are, and keep building on it. So,
Well, you have anything else you want to say?
I just want to say thank you for inviting me and having me here.
Oh, we appreciate you coming. I mean, this is great. You know, like you said, I mean, the school is such a big part of our community. It only made sense. And I think I knew you'd be great at this. You know what I mean? It's like,
I don't know.
We need to get Greg in here. I know Brooms follows basketball and stuff like that.
You should do that. He's entertaining. He's got some good stories.
Coach Holifield and I eat at Subway every single day pretty much.
Yes.
And when basketball season's going, I never, ever talk to him about his basketball team. We always talk about sports because it's like, I'm like, you know how many people probably come up here and talk to him about the Bulldogs basketball. Yeah. So we always talk about something else. But
he probably appreciates that every now and then. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want to leave out this SCTC thing because, I mean, our partnership there with Andy Caton, who used to work here at Criminal Justice, and then Eric Dunn's going to have this fire science. And I'm really looking forward to the fire science thing because I think that's really going to be good for us. I mean, we want to, I'm sure you're the same. You probably have teachers that come and work for you. Maybe they're from Jackson or Cape, and you often probably lose them too because they go home. I mean, that's kind of what we fall into. And we want to really hire people from Sikeston because they know the community, they know people here, they have the relationships built and all that stuff. And so the idea that the SCTC is going to have a fire science class this year, we're really wanting to partner with that and do the best we can because unlike Caton's class, he does criminal justice, we got to wait until they turn 21 before we can hire them. So they got this gap. But the fire science thing, we can hire them right out of high school. And so I've already been prepping City Hall about that. It was like, hey, just
Get
so
ready.
you know, this is happening. This could be our pipeline, which we need so bad. And so I'm really excited about
Good.
that. I think that SCTC has really grown. I mean, that is really a good program.
It really
that y'all
is. And back to our goals and our planning, our career and tech expansion has been a part of one of those goals too. And we have really expanded, and that's what is our deciding factor on what programs we add. Where's the need in our area? You know, in the workforce in our area, where do we need to be prepping and giving kids opportunities? And Chad King does a tremendous job there.
Yeah.
Miss Tiffany Morgan, one of my assistant superintendents, that's under her umbrella, and she's worked really hard. We worked with the city, with Marcy, and got the ARPA grant, which allowed us to expand that SCTC to the old Orchland building.
Then a tornado hit it.
And then a tornado hit it, yes. We are just now getting back to normal.
Looking good.
It is looking good. And we also, the governor wrote us in. We thought we were going to get $1 million. We ended up just getting $500,000, but that's going to help us finish out that building. We had to phase it, and so we still have that very backside. Kind of what used to be behind Taco John's before my roof landed on top of Taco John's.
It happens.
Not that often.
Not that often. You're right.
Yeah.
It's a first for me.
Yeah.
But we're going to continue to grow that career in tech. I think it's a critical piece to our community and, you know, economic development in our area. So again, I sit on the economic development board too, and that's a big piece to that puzzle. And everything that we can do to get these young kids ready, trained, introduced, see what's out there that they can either go get a college degree and come back and that be their career, or go right into the workforce, and that we can help train and get them ready to make a living.
Yeah, those kind of job skills are so needed these days.
Yeah, just from my time as an SRO, I got acquainted with a lot of those kids, and then now know them now and know the jobs that, I mean, they literally went from high school right into the workforce.
Making great livings.
Man, I'm like, these guys are making a lot of money.
Yeah. We've got some
they're
stories.
working hard, but they're getting paid well.
That's right. And don't have college debt.
Right.
We have some welders that they're
There's
making a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, there was a time that we even though you had criminal justice out there, we weren't getting anybody out. It just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And that several years ago, it seemed like that changed. Now we're getting kids coming out of that class, you know. I'm sure
Officer
it has
Novak.
Probably has nothing to do with Andy Caton. I really question why y'all hired him. You know,
He's a great guy.
No, Andy's a good friend of mine. You know, he does a good job.
He's our safety coordinator too. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
You know that. I know you know that, but
yeah,
he's really been beneficial in that role too.
Yeah, but that's really. I mean, I think Britain Western went through that program. There's a lot of kids that went through that we ultimately got hired. Yeah,
that's the goal.
And it just wasn't like that before. I don't know why exactly, but things changed and it's doing good. But the school, awesome. I think, is doing awesome. I mean, I hear about a lot of my friends go to the ball games and everything. It's a big deal. It's like, are you coming? I'm like, yeah, okay, well, let's go, whatever, you know. But
that's what we got to have when people want to come and be a part of our activities, and we put a quality product on the field, on the floor, in the classroom.
We are Sikeston.
We are Sikeston. That's right.
Don't you forget it.
That's
don't forget it. And on Fridays, we wear red and black. I got to remember. I have to sometimes like, are you kidding? It's a Friday and you have blue on? Are you kidding?
You say that about every assembly you have. And on Fridays, we wear red and black here.
Yep. I said it this morning to 500 staff. I said, and on Fridays, we wear, and they all wear red and black.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's all we got for today. Shannon, thanks for coming in here. We really appreciate it. You're doing a tremendous job there. You really are. Love the partnership that we have with you. I think that's tremendous. And a lot of people don't know that, but we talk together all the time, and our SROs and everything. But I think it's really good for the community to have a good school, strong, solid school program that you guys have. You're doing great things, and thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. We have a great community, and I got great people that work for me.
We do want to say one thing, though.
Okay.
Always take the high road. That's what Tigger says.
It is what Tigger says.
Yeah, that's what we say at every show.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
These guys are so corny.
I know. But anyway.
Well, thanks so much.
Yeah. Thanks for following us again. That's the end of another episode. God only knows what number it is. But
11, 12,
16.
No, it's like 16
16
or 17, something like that. Yeah. But
It was funny when you were trying to keep
I'm the
up
only
there
one
at
that went to
first.
Yeah, I
Sikeston,
gave
so I
up.
can count.
I just gave up completely on that. But hey, we want to say,
Campbell.
Oh boy.
yeah, we definitely want to say thanks to Josh. He's the one that edits. Josh Goldall edits all this stuff. Does a great job and everything. And if you want to email us at chief.cap.chap@gmail.com. Let us know what you think. Give us some show ideas, or just say, hey, we're listening, and keep our spirits up and stuff like that. So, anyway, thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
See ya.